Focus on love, and rejoice in the peace and contentment that arises within you. June 11, 2017. There is only love. I will keep repeating this divine truth because it needs to be repeated. The human situations you all find yourselves engaged in and involved with in your daily lives seldom make room for your true natures to express themselves, because you are generally so caught up in the emotions and issues that arise there. You need to take time out every day to go within, to your holy inner sanctuary, and to renew your intent to be loving, and only loving, whatever situation arises. You can do that, but often you choose not to, because your egos encourage you to engage defensively and aggressively in order to win the discussion, argument, or altercation that is holding your full attention. As a result, you tend to find yourselves in endless and repetitive loops playing the same old painful games. Later you wonder why it always seems to be like that. Well, you can change it. Love works. That does not mean allowing yourselves to be walked on or have your personal space invaded. You need to use discernment to decide whether or not it is wise to remain in a seemingly unworkable situation where cooperation is not happening and does not appear to be a viable option. Remaining in a situation where the other party or parties will not discuss issues peacefully and cooperatively is pointless. Until those involved are prepared to talk and listen to each other fully and peacefully, there will be no progress. This is not giving up. This is allowing the others their space in which to be in conflict when that is their choice. Conflict can only cease when those involved make a very conscious choice to that effect. Removing yourself from a situation of conflict often helps bring people to their senses when they discover that there is no one willing to be in conflict with them. Conflict requires conflict to sustain it, and if people truly want peace, they will not engage in conflict. And as conflict is a fear-based activity that seeks to damage others, it can never be used to establish peace. If it is forceful enough, it may bring a temporary ceasefire, but resentment and bitterness will remain, awaiting an opportunity to reverse the situation and restart the conflict, often claiming that the reasons for this renewal, in order to justify it, are quite different from what caused it in the first place. But there is never any justification for starting or restarting a conflict. Conflict is a flight from love. There is only love or fear, but fear is unreal, so in fact and in truth there is only love. Fleeing from love is most frequently caused by shame, by feelings of worthlessness, and by an intense sense that one is unacceptable and unlovable, a state that most cannot consciously acknowledge, because to believe that about oneself is extremely painful. And, of course, it is completely untrue. Every human is an infinitely loved child of God, and that can never change. The game of separation, that humanity chose to experience by constructing and occupying the illusion, does feel shameful because it indicates a complete rejection of God's infinite and utterly unconditional love for each one of you. A rejection that only you could choose to make. But it was unreal and imaginary like the illusion itself. To reject God's love for you is impossible because it is the life force that flows through you in every moment of your eternal existence. You are alive, therefore you are love, and because you are, you cannot have rejected it. This all sounds very paradoxical and confusing to you because it makes no logical sense, but the illusion is illogical, in fact it is insane, because it is an attempt not to exist. As humans you are born, grow up, grow old and then die. But you are eternal beings fully integrated with and coalesced with God who is all that is, and so you can never die, that is cease to exist. You are eternally loved and protected because of your state of oneness with God. There is nothing to fear. What you fear is unreal, but, because of your brilliant abilities, the illusion you constructed appears undeniably real to you while you occupy your human bodies, which, as you are well aware, can feel intense pain when damaged. You make use of the limited intelligence that you have allowed yourselves as humans, which seems to be the result of the chemical interactions in your brains. But that limited intelligence is not you. You are infinitely more, infinitely vaster than the human forms that you have chosen to occupy. Those forms have a very severely time-limited life, at the end of which you will lay them down and know yourselves once more as you truly are, eternally conscious life forms of pure love. And that is reason to rejoice. Pain and suffering are of the illusion, and are attached to your physical forms. When you lay those down in death, you will find yourselves once more enveloped in the field of love from which you have been hiding, and that experience is wondrous, totally unable to be expressed in words. Those who have had an NDE, near-death experience, have attempted to describe the wonder of it while stressing that it is impossible to truly explain the joy and the happiness and the love that enveloped and embraced them. While they were in that state they returned alive to their human forms. All their fear was gone, only love remained. But why wait for your human death to experience the wonder of being fully alive? Intend and allow yourselves to awaken from the nightmare while still embodied and experience heaven on earth. When you make the intent and hold it to be only loving, when you choose to honor your true nature which is love and engage with it fully, your whole perception of life as a human will change. You will be in the world but not of it. Remember, God did not make the world and put you in it, you did, and you can choose to experience love or fear while within it. You are all aware of kind, generous, and loving people, who are content and happy with their lives, fully accepting whatever arises, while offering compassion, healing, and love to all with whom they interact. Every one of you can choose to do likewise, and all that is stopping you or holding you back is your individual choice to engage with fear and with all the fearful what-ifs, with which that choice presents you. It is completely your choice and your decision where you focus your attention. Focus on love, and rejoice in the peace and contentment that arises within you. Your loving brother, Jesus. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman2.wordpress.com